What's up guys, Will Styles here, and basically just a new series called Laps with Will, and it's just a bunch of real talk sessions, basically just trying to outweigh the craziness on our channel. But our first subject today is called Focus and Determination. So a quick background story for you guys. When I was in my first senior year, so my second to last year, I was pretty confident actually going into the year, and we had a bunch of diagnostic tests to see if that was the right subject for us and blah blah blah. And it turned out that in my advanced English class I failed out of my ass. It was really tough, to be honest. I played it off as being whatever, I failed, who cares. But it really hit me, to be honest. It was the biggest eye opener I think I've ever had in high school, academically that is, because I was pretty good all the years leading up to it, and I thought, hey, like, why not try advanced English? And I failed, and I failed big time. I got in that diagnostic test. I think I just got shy of 30%, um, and that's in a class full of kids that are pulling, 70s and 80s and even 90s for some of those kids that pulled that. And I was just sitting there, and I was just dumbfounded. I was just like, what the fuck happened? I came from year 10 where I was getting 70s, 80s, 90s to now I'm getting 30%. Like, what happened? And the next big thing was that my teacher actually sat down with me and said, hey, look, I don't think you're cut out for this class. And that was just huge for me, since you know my sister did it, and my sister just smashed the class, and I had the same teacher, and for her to say to me that I don't think you're good enough was just huge. That was a huge hit in my ego, I'll tell you that much. But what I did from then on was, it really showed the strength of my character, and it tested it as well, because I went home and I didn't want to tell my parents. No way. No way would I tell my parents about how I just failed a subject that I shouldn't fail. And I just sat down and I really thought about, how am I going to turn this around? Do I drop the class, or do I keep it and keep failing, or do I just try my hardest? And you know what? I stuck to it. I stuck to it every day. I set goals, set short, medium, and long term goals, and look, I graduated. I graduated, towards the top of my class. I was just shy of 80%, so I basically, you know, doubled and a half my previous test. And, I'm now in my university degree. And the biggest two tips that I can give you guys, especially you guys in high school, that there's really not much help after you fail a test. So my first tip for you guys is just setting and acting on goals. It's one thing to set it, okay? It takes a long time to set. You gotta really think about, okay, what's my primary goal? And my primary goal was to graduate from that class at the top of the class. But the second thing you need to add to setting goals is just acting on them. Talking about it's one thing, but really acting on it is a whole different story. Can you talk the talk, but can you walk the walk, which is a big saying. You really got to stay determined. That's my second tip. Just every day, you'll have your ups and downs. That's life. You have your ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you're human. You'll get through it. And my last tip is just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. Fear will hold you back from who you're destined to be. And if you just push through that fear, just make sure you push through that fear. That's the hardest bit, pushing through it. But once you do that, you become more grounded, more collective. You're just gonna become a stronger person overall. That's my biggest tip for you guys. And if you guys like this series so far, hit that like button. And if you guys want me to start any subjects at all, doesn't matter what it is, put it in the comments below or inbox me on YouTube. Thanks guys, I'm out. Peace.